afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, September 15, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. How many of us really do believe, or do most of us just take it superficially or not at all? No matter what happens to any of us in this life, we are powerful beyond measure, beautiful beyond words, and truly an extraordinary being who has access to unlimited love, creativity, and pleasure. All this is, and more, available inside each and every one of us. See, if you realize that you're the drop, you're the ocean, the universe is you, you're the universe, you're connected. The God within that body is connected or part of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, or forever, which means all the gurus, all the sages, all the knowledge, everything, you are part of, and it's part of you, which means that you can connect or plug in, so to speak, to all of that. Happiness, joy, bliss, peace, all within you, all contained within what we call on this planet God, which is pure consciousness. Now, when you realize that what that does as a whole is creates everything. It's like you look at a black hole in the universe and you look at a white hole. And there's a white hole, but they don't talk about that. So what does the white hole do? The white hole sends in planetary bodies and stars, and it kind of fills the universe. The black hole takes out debris or anything that gets near it, like a vacuum cleaner. And it keeps things tidy, so to speak. Now, are you part of both of these? Yes. Who created these? The collective consciousness. Are these holes then are part of the collective consciousness? Yes. We inhabit all forms. For what reason? To experience. This is what we do. So it doesn't necessarily all the time mean that we're inhabiting human form, but human form, you got to admit, is quite seductive, because most of us take things for granted. Easy to do. You know, we are birthed in these bodies, we come into these bodies, and then we start experiencing all kinds of stuff throughout this life, never ending. And I do this a lot. I will look at the God and comprehend the fact that what would it be like if you couldn't taste anything? What would that be like? Or you couldn't smell anything. Nothing, zero. Or you couldn't hear anything. Basically, from the material physical world, you wouldn't be able to experience any of that. Laughter, peace, silence, even exercise, love, intimacy, sex, none of it. You didn't experience any of it. Now, you can see why we create these bodies, so that we can. So what does that do for us? Well, we learn. We experience and we learn. And since we're the only thing that's real, the gods that we are in these bodies, everything else, anything that changes isn't real. Now, all of us, the gods that we are the only things that are real. And we create everything else for entertainment and experience. Now, when we realize that we're in these bodies, what? 90, 80, 70, 60. You know, I mean, we're seeing people leave the bodies even in their 20s now. Or even 100 or 150. That's nothing. That is like a drop in the bucket as far as longevity. But what else do we have to compare it with? Zero. So to us, it's a long time. And then you reflect at times and you say, where did this life go? You ever say that to yourself in so many words? This is amazing how you call it time, has been so accelerated. And you look at your life and you go, not from judgment standpoint, but through a enjoyment standpoint and experiences, and you're going, where did it all go? How come it's so fast? And it is fast. It isn't a figment of your imagination. It is a reality. It's very fast. And so before we know it, maybe you're just getting it. Maybe you're just starting to get it. You know? And then you leave the body. Now, I'm quite sure that the majority of us would like a lot longer life. Not only that, but one that afforded us a lot of things. One where we didn't what? We didn't expire. We would just continue in youthfulness, but continually gain experience. Yeah, you could read all the books in the world, academia, but if you've had no experience, then what is that? What good is all of that book? You get somebody that says, well, I was just reading in this such and such a novel or book, and it was saying this, this, and this. And so the other being goes, have you ever experienced any of that? And the one that reading the book said, no, I haven't. Well, then how do you know? You don't. Then the other says to the other being said, have you ever experienced any of this? And he says, a lot of it. And it didn't come out the way it says in that book. You see, we love experience, but we would like it on our own terms. That would be okay, wouldn't it? We could create certain things and experience them. We'd have them laid out, and then we'd experience them. But what do you think most of us would do on our creation? Well, probably in the beginning, cakewalk. Just nice and soft and cushy. No real challenges and, just kind of ease on by. You think that would get boring after a while? I think for most of us it would. It's like you got a group of people sitting around and they're saying, oh, where are we going to go eat tonight? Where are we going? And everybody's throwing out different cuisines. Well, how about here? No. How about no? I'm going here. Why don't we just stay here and order a pizza? Probably going on right now on this planet. This is why, in order for us to access the treasure trove within us, you sit in a state of wonder, and you're in awe of this understanding, this comprehension. You try it just for a few minutes. See what happens. You might discover some resistance, denial, or perhaps the realization that this amazing fact is already within you. Remember, you're powerful beyond measure, beautiful beyond words, and truly an extraordinary being who has access to unlimited love, creativity, and pleasure. And more of that. More. Now, we have blocks. All of us do. I haven't met anybody yet who hasn't had at least one block. And it is good to know that each block you encounter in this life is your greatest catalyst to diving into a deeper experience of your most enlightened self. Every experience we have as human beings contains a doorway to this divine state. All that's needed is to look for the door. Reach out for the golden handle and walk on through. Picture this. You're kind of walking along, right? You're not really thinking anything, or you're just moseying along. And you come across, there's this big door here. And you see a whole bunch of people. They're sitting on the ground, looking at the door. Right? The golden handle, the beautiful door. So you start, at first you go, what the heck's going on? Because you would think maybe they had a view screen on the door and they were watching something. But they weren't moving. And the closer you get, you're kind of going, well, there's no view screen on the door. What are they doing? They're not doing anything. They're not moving. They're just staring at that door handle. So you're going, there's got to be something behind that door. And you walk up and you just say, and you're looking at them, and then you just turn around, you open the door. And they're all looking at each other like they're totally blown away that you opened the door. That's the way most of us are on this planet. We won't open the door. We'll do everything but that. Now, there's nothing as easy and fulfilling as entering this magna glorious paradise that is within your very being. It's easiest to discover this warm, fuzzy feeling inside when you are alone. In nature, quiet and looking within yourself for many hours. To arrive at this place means letting go of the hectic outer world, putting away the busy, overly productive to-do list, and devote to spend some solid quality time with you. Whatever is stopping you from making time for yourself is blocking you from experiencing the most tremendous freedom, love, and joy. So here's an invitation for you. Invitation is that you let go of your life. Emotionally, mentally, and intentionally loosen your grip and relax into your true self. This is kind of what we do in these meditations during quiet time. And here, you will find this powerful, beautiful, and extraordinary high vibrational being. Letting go is not easy at first, especially when we are used to spending our lives living like a vice grip. So practice loosening the grip. Do it for at least 1 hour every day. You might be pleasantly surprised how much you look forward to this time. The fact is that you are worth it. When you look at yourself in the mirror, right? And I know a lot of people that won't look at themselves in the mirror. Isn't that amazing? They won't look at themselves in the mirror. Why? Well, because they don't want, they're too old, or they don't look good, or, they just, or it frightens them. You might be pleasantly surprised how much you look forward to this time. And in the beginning, it feels weird, strange. All that is the ego mind. Now, you should do it. It's real interesting. When you look at your, not to, clip a hair or, check out your skin or whatever. There's got to be something within that body that's looking at you. It isn't a reflection. Okay? Our entire self is too huge, too amazing, and magnificent to digest in just one sitting. It's like you can look back at your day and remember most of what happened, yet look back on your entire life and even past lifetimes and digest everything in the same detailed manner. You are much bigger than the mind can conceive. You are much bigger than the mind can conceive. When you come to the edge of all the light you know and are about to step off into the darkness of the unknown, faith is knowing one of two things will happen. There will be something solid to stand on, or you will be taught how to fly. Doesn't it feel, don't you think that to start feeling a fraction of just how amazing you truly are, begin with letting go of any limiting beliefs that arise about yourself. Now, if you think you're too nice, I know, too old, too fat, too ugly, too poor, these are old, boring stories and excuses. In truth, they are just tiny electrons passing through the brain, making you believe you're in some prison. Realize these are all just thoughts passing through your consciousness in each moment. You can choose to pay attention to the good ones or the bad ones. It is totally up to you. And you can easily break free from any negative or limiting beliefs running around in your mind by surrendering to loving you. Trust in the feeling of love. Believe that love is the way. Notice how it feels to be a bit more gentle and kind with yourself. What does it feel like to accept all of your parts? Real love is deep and eternal. It has no reason why it loves. It just constantly sends out gentle energy, working its magic, and healing all parts of you every time. There is nothing more powerful and transformational than deep eternal love. Now, when you devote your day to loving you, being gentle with you, something very magical occurs. You start to feel the love that is already inside you now. Deep inside your soul is the infinite source of love, the energy of God, source, absolute consciousness, whatever name you choose to place on it. The energy is the same. It is creating your experience of reality in every millisecond of your life. And it is the most benevolent, brilliant, and loving source there ever will be. Great quote from Amadeus Mozart. Neither a lofty degree of intelligence nor imagination, nor both together, go to the making of genius. Love, love, love. That is the soul of genius. Everyone on this planet, in this very now, are all on this sacred spiritual journey together. The life is for our enjoyment, transformation, spiritual growth, and eventually our enlightenment. We are here to enlighten the load from our past, let go of all the heaviness we've been carrying for lifetimes. Whatever has been burdening, blocking, or frustrating to us is not real. The very instant we clearly see what is real, then everything changes immediately. There is a great relief inside as we no longer have to fight or resist everything in life anymore. The war is over. We can see the truth, accept that which we believed was totally unacceptable about ourselves. It is then that our greatest joy and freedom begins to settle in. Now, there's nothing you can do to make a wrong turn in this life. That's all created, see? Programming, generation after generation. And we feel guilty and bad, and our frequencies drop more. There's nothing you can do to make a wrong turn in this life. Everything is part of your destiny. And on an infinite highway where everything is connected, all lanes eventually reach the same infinite destination, don't they? You cannot mess up your life. I don't care what your ego mind tries to convince you of. It is perfectly imperfect just as it is. It contains all the bittersweet and sour elements needed to release your tight grip inside yourself. Relax deeply. Find out that you are powerful, beautiful, and truly extraordinary. And on those days, when you feel that you made a wrong turn in your life, where you got in trouble for not yielding to the other, where you had an unconscious moment and smashed into someone you loved, it may feel like everything is lost. Maybe you were driving with one foot on the brake and the other foot on the gas, and mainly looking backwards in the rearview mirror. The discovery here is forgiveness. Let go of whatever mistakes you've made in your life. They are last year's movie. Just observe the judgments of these movies about yourself without participating in that judgment, say. Welcome the experience of whatever your great error was, and accept that it was a lesson teaching you something deeper about yourself and this life. By welcoming whatever judgments are showing up about yourself, the judgmentaholic inside gets to step down from its pedestal, and a hint of clarity somehow naturally finds its way in. A glimmer of lightness finds its way into the deepest, darkest night of the soul. When you fully experience judgment for whatever it has to say, without holding on to any story about it, this universe has to present itself to you with full clarity. So my invitation for you this week is this. Do not resist any experience that life gives you. Welcome all the good and bad you see inside you. Yet give some extra special attention to that part of you that is powerful beyond measure, beautiful beyond words, and truly an extraordinary being who has access to unlimited love. Any resistance is futile and just makes you contract from life and get even more emotionally knotted up inside. If you must resist an experience in life, be conscious about it. Know that this is your choice. There is always another way to experience who you are. Do this for 1 week, and the relaxing feeling, freeing, will move in. Trust the process. Let go and surrender to what is deeper and already at peace on the inside. There is no beginning or ending in the journeyless journey to nowhere. You do not start from somewhere. You do not end it anywhere. You are where you are, and you continue from there. Bodhidharma. And our intimate relationship with the universe is paramount. This universe we live in is more intelligent than the mind can come even close to comprehending. There are many hidden dimensions to everything and everyone within it. We truly exist in this very now moment in the most fascinating, multidimensional, and infinitely mysterious field of conscious, intelligent energy. And this divine harmonic matrix is vibrating with life all around us. It is inside us and is constantly connecting with our every breath, thought, emotion, and heartbeat. Look around you. Everything is constantly exploding in an orgasm of wild, unabandoned creativity right now. Millions of flowers are blossoming, giving birth to the most amazing sights and scents. Amazing sacred geometric crystals. You've seen crystals, they're magnificent. Are forming perfect patterns beneath the Earth's crust. While millions of animals, birds, insects, and humans are having intercourse in the most interesting positions. This is just a tiny tip of the iceberg as to all the wild, mysterious, and beautiful things happening on this planet right now. Now, when you observe nature long enough, you'll see everything is always changing, including you. Okay? But we're not talking about the God, we're talking about you, the body. It is said that we cannot step into the same river twice. Have you ever gone back somewhere? Maybe your birthplace, maybe you left. Somewhere where you maybe were a little kid or something, okay? And so it just gets into and you go, I'm going to go back there and see how things have changed. Now, obviously, your perspective is as a child. I remember in California, a place called San Rafael Village. My father was stationed at I believe it was a SAC command base at the time. And behind the houses, there's a field, okay, and to me as a kid, it was a huge ditch. Huge. It felt like I was climbing a mountain when I would go down into the ditch and then climb out. I felt like, and actually I was saying I was climbing Mount Everest because it seemed huge to me as a kid. Everything. Years and years later, I went back there, and it was just a little ditch. It was insignificant. And our perspectives are so different. It had, to me, okay, it had changed so much. But in reality, it really hadn't changed at all. I had changed. That's why when we go and we revisit things, they're not the same. Because you have changed. The material, physical you has changed. So you look at something, it's nothing like it was a long time ago. It's like you have a pair of pants or jeans or whatever. As a kid, you love them. They're just comfortable and they're great, and that's all you want to wear. You ever done that? It's all you want to wear. You just want to wear those. And your mother says, well, we've got to wash those. You've got to take those off. Reluctantly, she washes them. And boom, as soon as they're out of the dryer, you got them back on. Now, obviously these bodies grow, right? Now, you wouldn't, not in a million years, try to fit those pants on when your body is fully grown. You know that you wouldn't even be able to get them over your foot. You see how we kind of meander along in this life. and we create our own happenings and our different viewpoints. What do you comprehend what the human psyche is? It is the accumulation of other people's thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions that we've adopted and inherited as our own. All these beliefs form the entire experience of ourselves, other people, this world, and our entire reality. The way we think, how we think, why we think this way and not that way, is the core network of our psyche, and makes us behave more like predictable machines than alive cosmic organisms. However, the human psyche has a magical side to it, and that whatever we accept as the truth becomes what we actually manifest physically into our lives. Now, to most of us, this may be one of the most awesome mysteries mankind has to explore. Our foundational belief structure is so powerful, pervasive, and penetrating that it always manifests itself in every single possible outcome and experience we have. And interestingly enough, this universe always supports whatever you believe. If deep down you believe you are not a lovable person, this universe will constantly manifest for you the most challenging people, negative situations, and experience that support this belief inside. If you truly believe you are lovable, this universe will slather your life with sweet, if you truly believe it, okay, will slather your life with sweet, loving beings devoted to caring about you, honoring you, and caring for your needs in the most intimate, vulnerable ways. This intelligent universal energy simply follows thought. Whatever you believe about you is where the energy flows and manifests into the entire show all around you. In this highly technological age that we're in, people these days tend to believe science easier than religion. If you can prove God is real in a lab, then it must be true. And I'm not talking about man-made religion. Oh, the God spark, we found it. The God particle. Yeah, What's fascinating about this time frame in our lives is that the quantum physicists of this world have ventured so deep into particles that they have had to merge their scientific vocabulary, right? And merge their understanding with a spiritual context. Their practical Newtonian vocabulary doesn't have the words to explain the outrageous results they are finding. They are having to use more spiritual words and concepts to bridge the understanding of these hard-coded scientific results. For example, they have taken two quantum particles that were spinning around each other and found a way to separate them by many, many kilometers, few kilometers in distance. Many a few kilometers in distance. Later, they spun one of the particles counterclockwise and noticed that instantly the other particle that was kilometers away would also change spinning in this new direction. Now, this study has been done many times with the same results. So they've concluded there exists some form of spiritual intelligence that is communicating between all quantum particles in this universe, no matter what the physical distance is between them. Years ago, quantum physicists also proved in their labs that thoughts are actual physical measurable things. Scientists would observe a vacuum of space which had no particles in it, zero. And they found that wherever the observers would place their attention, that was the place the particles would show up. So they concluded through other more advanced studies that when the mind cultivates the ability to direct thought in one specific direction for an extended period of time, that being can physically attract, magnetize, and soon manifest an actual physical thing in their field of existence. See, this is absolutely a fact. It has been we've been in the 21st century for a while now. And the understanding that we are the manifesting magicians of the quantum soup of highly intelligent energy all around us has become an actual science in the quantum physics and the spiritually enlightened communities. The relationship between the mystic and the scientist were separated 500 or so years ago, and now the pendulum is swinging back towards their reunification again. But it's going to be a lot more than before. It is our inherent curious nature to want to put labels on things, people, ourselves, and create a universal law of attraction that will solve this great manifesting mystery of life. We think that if we have a more concrete global understanding of life, then we can relax and rest even deeper into our spiritual nature. Perhaps only a fool would believe that we need something external to let go and relax internally. Why would we need to feel inferior to being one with Mother Nature just so as to push away our insecurity and strive towards a need to feel superior? The human psyche, as I mentioned, is the greatest mystery of them all. I'll join you in the meditation and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, focused on your breath rising and falling. Relaxed into the body. Something quite divine occurs when you stop focusing on your separate self and let your mind merge, melt into the vast ocean of existence. There is a great sea of atoms, quarks, and quantum energy that creates this sweet soup of consciousness for you to bathe in. So take off your clothes, dive right in. Just notice how the wet, cooling qualities of the entire ocean can be found within a single drop. The greatest illusion that you can participate in is that you are just a single drop of this ocean, and that you are not also this entire ocean itself. Do not live another day in illusion. Realize that we are all deeply connected with everyone and everything on the most subtle of levels. When you focus your mind for hours on this ocean of pure conscious energy that truly knows no separation, you will discover bliss. Feels so amazing to be merging, melting, and totally surrendering to existence. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. We will return here Monday, September 16, 2024, little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you nor outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.